My name is Denny Brown. This is my story. I'm 57 years old. We've lived down here at Lake Holiday for 20 years. I met my wife, Karen, about 21, 22 years ago. Been a good place to raise a family. I think anybody that lives down here would admit to that. I work at Town and Country Home Center. I've been there 13 years. A lot of people want to complain about where they work, but I have no complaints. I'm thankful to be where I'm at. October 10th, 2010, I took my first drink of water that I noticed the pain. It almost felt like it got stuck. And then as it went down, it just created all kinds of pain. Well, then the next day I was eating lunch, and I'd taken a bite of a sandwich and noticed the same problem, the same pain. I went to my family doctor. There was a nurse practitioner there, and I don't think she realized how sick I was becoming. But she did schedule a scope test, but it was 3 weeks before I could get into the doctor's surgery. In that 3 weeks, I probably lost 30 pounds. I'd eat at work, and then when I'd come home, I'd be as sick as I could be, so I'd end up getting sick with everything that I'd ate. So I went in and did the scope test, and then they realized I had cancer along the lining of my stomach and my esophagus, and it was closing everything off. I started at 156. I weighed 156. Probably within a 5-week period of time, I was down to 106. When they told me that I had problems, I had the cancer inside my stomach and the lining of my stomach, and there was no surgical procedure they could do. It had to be done through chemo and radiation. I had the first 2 radiation treatments there at Canine Center, and then one morning I woke up and I just didn't feel right. I mean, I was sick, but it was something completely different. I just didn't feel right at all. So they sent me over to St. Elizabeth. I ended up having pneumonia. With what tests that they did at the Canine Center, they realized that I was having other problems too. So went back to St. Elizabeth and took more tests and come find out that my kidneys weren't functioning at the time. So I was in there for another week. I was in St. Elizabeth for another week. It was brought up that I might need hospice care because I had so many strikes against me. We didn't know how to deal with that. It was tough to deal with hospice care, thinking that chemo and radiation was going to get me better. So we cried all afternoon and was scared to death, scared for my life. I for sure thought I was going to die. The very next day we had an appointment with Dr. Schultz, and went in and talked to him and explained to him what the thought was, and he said, "No, we're gonna make you better." When I got out of the hospital that time, I was feeling a lot better. They scheduled me for 30 sessions of radiation, and then I think probably through the 15th, I started my chemo every Friday, and I had 5 sessions of chemo. I remember the celebration after I got done with the 30 radiation treatments, and then a celebration after the 5 chemo treatments, and really started getting better. The first thing I had when I was able to eat was an orange. Karen went and got me an orange. I've been craving oranges. At St. Elizabeth, there was a picture on the wall of a kitchen, and there was an orange in the middle of it. And I looked at that every day. That was a great blessing to be able to eat that orange. I just truly believe with the care of my wife and the spatial care that I got out there, with the help of Dr. Schultz and the Canine Center, they give me the right treatments at the right time, and their professionalism made it all happen.